Ahoy there, ladies and gentlemen. Holy Crackshot here for day 2 of Grim Quest. I know it's been a very long time since I posted my last gaming video, and I'm very sorry. But, sorry, I encountered some items that my lungs are highly allergic to. And so when I came into contact with them, my breathing was impaired and I was coughing quite a bit. So I was unable to do videos like this. So I'd only just recently recovered, so please excuse my voice as it may still not be 100%. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get episode 2 underway. Sorry. So there's nothing that I'm going to want to spend my money on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go straight into the dungeon. Sunken Grotto. Alright. Let's get moving. Going up north first. Alright, we got a battle. You can tap on the enemy, and if you've already fought them before, then you'll get new information on them. So, this guy has no spell resistance. He has armor. Alright. So I'm going to cast Fireball at the Moata. Alright, got a little bit of damage there. Arcane Blast did not do as much damage as I would have hoped. See what that ability is, Warcry. Alright, so increases their damage. I attacked the far left warrior. I'm going to do a split damage between those two, so I can take out one of them. Main damage on the warrior. I'm taking a lot of damage. Okay, split damage, so I took him out. Alright. I got a spear, +1 damage and +1 damage versus beasts. Alright, so if we take a look. I have no weapon right now, so it's better than nothing. So I've equipped the spear. So I got damage boost. Let's see, do I want to use my potion? 60 health, no. 25 health, yeah, I'll use that already. There, almost full health. Excuse me. The gift of knowledge. As you doze in the shade of a large oak tree, your daydreaming is abruptly interrupted by a quiet, raspy voice. You open your eyes to see an old woman standing over you, looking for all the world like a witch straight out of a fairy tale. Seeing the confused look on your face, the crone smiles a crooked smile and repeats her question.
Would you like to learn a trick or two about magic, sweet child?
I know I botched that up so badly. So, absolutely no thanks or leave. Absolutely. It's a success. She nods and makes a sly comment about your inquisitive nature, offering a compliment that sounds more like an insult. Still, the crone sure seems to know a thing or two, if not more, about the forbidden and occult magics. The kind of things they don't teach you at the Mystic Emporium. After her lesson is done, you thank her from the bottom of your heart, and you part ways, both gaining something from this short, albeit productive exchange. +1 spell damage. I don't know if that's just for the duration of this dungeon, or if I keep it permanently. Either way, I'm gonna keep on going. Alright, so I got the key. Sometimes there's a lock. The exit has a locked door. And so I have to find the key. So, thankfully I found the key before I found the door. And now I find the door. I could just end the dungeon now, but I'm gonna explore as much as I can. Sorry. Here we go. A 12 damage crit. We got a grave robber here and a bandit. I wonder if they rob the same kinds of people. Arcane blast on the grave robber. Then fireball. And made quick short work of the gold ring. It's a valuable item, so I can sell it. Just gonna keep on going. Okay. Scattered Lore, Volume 48. Orcs. Orc Wars. Orc Wars were a long and bloody series of frontal skirmishes and full-blown military conflicts between the orc tribes and the remnants of the old empire. that begun shortly after the Tearing. Orcs blamed humans for the apocalypse that had befallen the continent and sought to eradicate the last trace of the empire from the map. Humans, stubborn as they are, resisted and came away on top in the chaos that ensued. Orcs were decimated and brought on the brink of extinction, exiled to the far reaches beyond the glacial mountains. So we'll encounter some scrolls that have lore behind this game. Well, I found 12 gold. Alright, doing pretty good so far. Whenever you move on a tile that you've already been on, there's still a chance you might encounter an enemy. So keep that in mind. One hit wonder with the Arcane Blast. 9 damage crit there. Made short work of the wizard. Aether Dust. So whenever you put on a buff item, if you do it in combat, it only lasts for the duration of that combat. But if you put it on yourself while in the dungeon before combat, then it will last for the duration of the dungeon. Under the banyan tree, you find yourself in a shade of an old banyan tree. Surprisingly, the tree is so ripe with fruit, it would take little effort to climb the lower branches and replenish your supplies. I am running a little low, so I'm going to pick the fruit. Success. The fruit is edible, if somewhat sour tasting. You stuff your pack full and continue on your way. 20 supplies, and I still have moldy bread, so I got plenty to go on this run. Madness is more evident. So I'm fighting this imaginary enemy in my head now. Guilt manifestation is what it's called. There's different kinds. I don't remember the difference of them though. Oh, damn it. I'm made with my fear manifestation, doubt manifestation. 2 fear manifestations. I haven't encountered that one just yet. Doubt manifestation. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow are our doubts of today. Well, okay then. Well, if I have no doubts, I have no doubt you're gonna die. And I fear that my manifestations are gonna die too. Did split damage between those two, so one of them's dead and another takes damage. Alright, I am taking a bit of damage, but I think I'll be able to make it through this dungeon alright. Dire rat and rat. Rats. Well, that's a one-hit wonder, that's awesome. Alright, I'm doing pretty good so far. Lots of combat. Molotov wit. Arcane blast on the warrior. Alright, 10 damage crit. Took him down pretty quickly. Now for the Molotov witch. Dead now. Gold chalice, another valuable item that can sell. And I leveled up. Level 2. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. +2 health and +5 max supplies. So as you level up, you will be able to carry more supplies on each run, which is very helpful. Just continue on my way through this very large dungeon. The only thing I'm guilty of is I didn't kill you fast enough, as you can see here. There you go. Now I just wiped away all of my guilt. I think these grave robbers are robbing the wrong person. Mainly because I'm not dead and I'm not in a grave. But what do I know? Alright. Got them taking down Imperial Brandy. I can restore some sanity, which I will do now. I will also eat the moldy bread. So I got some more supplies as well. There we go. Arcane blast. So getting these magic spells early on is super helpful. Glad I could take down the warrior one shot. Now this is proper. They're bandits, not grave robbers. Bandits rob live people, grave robbers rob dead people. But the bandits are just not good enough anyways, so they'll just die, like so. Rats. These pests are going to die. Die pests. Alright, got chainmail. +1 armor, but -4 evasion. I prefer the evasion. Ancient ruins. Standing on a hill by the road are ruins of a large stone building, likely fashioned by some long-dead imperial architect. You cannot guess at the structure's purpose, but even in its decaying state, it's grandiose and imposing nonetheless. I'm gonna find shelter and rest. Success. You find a safe place in the ruins, sheltered from the prying eyes, and rest. Excuse me. And rest for a few hours. 38 HP restored. That's very good. An insight into self. Rounding a corner, you spot a single person sitting on the large rock by the side of the road, looking jolly and relaxed despite the harsh reality of his whereabouts. As you approach, he greets you, presents himself as a traveling painter, and offers to paint your portrait. You are suspicious at first, but a quick glance at the canvas resting a few paces beside the painter reveals he is a master of his craft indeed. Accept his offer. Success. You accept his unusual offer and soon find yourself following his precise instructions, which consist mostly of standing still in strange poses for prolonged periods of time. After many hours of this torturous ordeal, the artist finally puts his pen down and calls you over to take a look. As you gain upon your likeness on the canvas, you feel something inside you move and flourish, leaving you richer for the experience. You have learned something new about yourself today. +1 health HP permanently. Makes absolutely no sense, but I'll take it nonetheless. Getting close to the end. I fear that you're not dead soon enough, my fear manifestation. Now you're dead. There we go. Dark Sorry. Dark Worshippers Camp. Looking down a deep slope, you notice a strange camp in the valley below. It is made out of makeshift tents, hastily constructed from large animal bones, and each tent sports a large black banner inscribed with hand-drawn insignia. They belong to the Dark Worshippers. You realize foul creatures seduced by the dark, retaining only specks of their humanity. Luckily, it seems to be abandoned for some time, and you have a look around if you so desire. I'm going to search for gold. Success. The inside of the tents is unkempt and dirty, as if they housed wild animals instead of human beings, but you managed to salvage some of the valuables left behind. 18 gold. Arcane scrolls. You find a hidden vault containing a bunch of arcane scrolls dating all the way back to the old empire. They are made of vellum, stained and dirty with age. The flowing arcane script almost completely faded away. Study them carefully. Pawn them for gold. Study them carefully. Success. As you piece through the scrolls, you begin to make sense of some of the writing. After long hours, you put the scrolls down, enlightened with a piece of arcane knowledge. +1 HP permanently. This at least makes slightly more sense than the painting. We're getting close. Dark manifestations. You prepared to rest for the day when a strange feeling of unrest begins to form at the back of your mind, like an alien presence probing the insides of your psyche. It gradually intensifies until it feels like your private thoughts are no longer yours, and you are being pulled out of your head by a cold, unrelenting hand. You notice your surroundings have suddenly gone dark, and a layer of black mist covering the ground. You stare in horror and fascination as the unnatural mist begins to swirl and forms humanoid shapes all around you. They are manifestations of your thoughts and emotions. You realize given form by the dark, and they mean you no good. Fight or run. I'm gonna fight. Alright, so the only emotions in my character right now appears to be guilt. So let's remove that guilt immediately. Every man is guilty of all the good he did not do. That's quite the quote there for a dead, I don't know how I could say dead, but I guess no longer active mental state or emotion. Alright, let's have another go. It's fear. Has spell resistance, so I should actually just use my attacks. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and use the bottled madness. There, sanity is almost up full again. Wolves. by the side of a large oak tree when you suddenly have a sinking sensation of being watched. Your instincts are proven true when a large gray wolf emerges from the outskirts of the forest. Behind it, more shapes appear, sliding from shadows, like a tide of darkness following the alpha's lead. They look at your supplies bag with hungry eyes, about a dozen drooling maws locked in feral grins. I'm gonna run for it. Failure. You try your luck and run as fast as you can, but wolves soon catch up to you and force you into a fight, which you eventually survive, driving them off with more than a few bite marks and bruises for your trouble. Lost HP and sanity. I'm almost there, but I only have one supply left. Spell resistance, so I'll use my regular attacks. There we go. Got the Grave Robber. What's the difference between bandits and grave robbers? That's what I'd like to know. A giant soul stone. Standing before you is perhaps the largest chunk of soul stone you have ever seen. It is propped up on a makeshift dais, which you suspect was built around it, as the stone itself is too large to be moved by hand. Its purpose remains a mystery, but it radiates such an immense magic dampening field that it blocks out even the tear's merciless pull. Touch the stone. Chip away at it. I'm going to touch the stone. Success. As you touch the stone, you feel some of its power being transferred into your own body, accompanied by a strong sinking sensation, which soon dissipates and leaves you with a temporary aura of magic resistance. +2 spell resistance. So as you see, without supplies, I take damage, with a chance of also losing sanity. Which I am willing to take. Now I'm going to leave as quickly as possible. As you can see, even if you've already been on the tile, you might encounter creatures again, enemies that you'll have to kill. This is a very close call, but I did make it, so let's unlock it and leave. 35 enemies killed, and I got my reward of 25 XP and 15 gold. And now we have an enemy army approaching. So, if you look down here, you'll see the army's strengths and weaknesses. They have different kinds. And you also have the quantity of soldiers that you have in that particular army, which you'll have to spend gold to keep up their morale. And also their numbers. The higher the morale, the more damage they can deal, and the fewer deaths you'll have with those soldiers. So these guys are strong against the Beastmen Raiders. So we'll press that and we'll let the battle ensue. And we'll also get gold. We had 74 casualties. Now I'm going to go and watch the quick ad to collect the wages, so I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright, so now I'm back. Your hard-earned wages, courtesy of the City Council of Ashbourne, rest safely in your pocket. So I did take a little bit of a beating there, but I should be alright. If you go to your journal here, you can take a look at your bounties you have and also your main quests. And just tap on the journal icon in the top left corner to exit it. And I'm definitely going to stock back up on some supplies. And I'll have a few drinks to get my sanity back up, and alright. I think I will get this bounty to kill 7 rats. I don't really feel like gambling. I'm just not into that kind of thing. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to the shop. Various assortments. Executioner's Axe. Plus 3 damage versus humans. I'm gonna sell the gold ring and the gold chalice and the chainmail. So now I got pretty good gold. I got a decent amount of gold now. Stock up on food, so I'll buy the dried meat. Versus Oakenslav salve. 1 armor plus 10 max HP. I'll buy that. And the moldy bread. And another moldy bread. And I'll store some of that as well. So I'll put it in the stash. I'll put the dried meat in here and keep both moldy breads, and I'll drink the oaken salve then in the next day, on the next day that I go in. So I'll go to the training grounds, select soldiers, and I'll go ahead and boost their morale, max it out to superb. Only costs 10 times to increase their morale levels. And I'm gonna bring them, hopefully bring them up to about 400. So there we go. Spending it's quite a bit of gold, but I want to keep those soldiers up and around the city. Now, let's see. I'll hold off on upgrading my weapon armor. Let's see if I need to be level 5 to level up to increase the level of my spells and skills. So I guess this is going to be the end of the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm sure my voice will get a little bit better by the next episode, which I will do one tomorrow for sure. So I'll be doing these more regularly, and I'm sorry for the embarrassingly long delay in posting a new video. I hope you guys can understand. And so I'll see you guys next time. Ciao, everyone.